Most people are taught that high blood sugar is a number on a lab sheet or lab report, a number that doctors circle with a red pen, a number that you're supposed to quietly nod at and pretend that you understand. But that's not what happens in real life, just so you know. Your body doesn't wait for an appointment to send you the memo that something is wrong. It talks to you early. It talks often, and it talks in the strangest and most unexpected ways. Some people hear whispers. Some hear nudges. Others, well, the body starts raising its voice like a frustrated mother who's already warned you twice and is done being polite. Hey guys, my name is Cheryl, and today I want to translate what your body has been desperately trying to tell you long before the doctor prints out that A1C number. I'm not trying to scare you. I really am not. Not even to shame you, but to finally give you the map, the real practical, this actually makes sense map, so that the next time that your body talks to you, you don't panic, you don't ignore it, and you don't blame yourself, but instead you understand it. And once you understand it, you can respond clearly, calmly, and confidently. Let's begin with one of the earliest, loudest, and most confusing signals of all, and that is thirst. That just doesn't make sense and is so overwhelming, you have to pay attention to it. Some people think thirst is simple. Drink water, feel better. But thirst from high blood sugar is a whole different beast. Meet Renee. She's 54 years old, a school librarian who never liked drinking water. She used to joke that she was allergic to plain water, but suddenly she could not stop drinking it. She carried around a giant 64-ounce bottle every day. This one looked like she was preparing for a long marathon, and yet her mouth still felt like cotton. Her lips were cracking. Her tongue felt so dry even after chugging down a large amount of water. She told me, she said, "Cheryl, this water is disappearing faster than my paycheck." Something is definitely wrong. What was happening inside of her wasn't a mystery. It was chemistry about to unfold. When your blood sugar rises above a level your cells can manage, your kidneys panic. They want the extra sugar gone from them. And sugar can't leave the body alone. It drags water along with it, like an overly dramatic friend who refuses to leave the party without you. More sugar in the bloodstream means more water leaving your body. Whether you drink water or not, you're still losing it. More water leaving the body means more thirst. More thirst means more drinking. The cycle keeps spinning, and the body is essentially saying, "I'm trying to clean the house, but I have to use up the water supply I have in here to do it." And that is why so many people, Renee included, experience nighttime bathroom trips that they cannot explain. One trip, then two, then three, the kind of nights where you wake up feeling like you didn't sleep at all. But thirst and bathroom trips are only just the beginning, because the next sign that your body gives you isn't loud at all. In fact, it's like a quiet thief. It steals something from you slowly but consistently. You know that feeling you eat your lunch and you feel okay for 20 minutes, and then out of nowhere, your shoulders sink, your eyelids droop, and your brain is like, "Sis, we shutting down. Please find us a pillow." This is not laziness. You know what I'm talking about. This is not you're just getting old. No, this is your cells begging for smoother blood sugar. Let me introduce Andre, 61 years old, a retired postal worker. Every afternoon at 2:20 p.m., this man turns into a zombie. He could even eat a salad or chicken. It could be rice. It didn't matter. He'd eat and then boom, he went into sofa mode. No warning. What was happening to him is what happens to millions of people every single day, and most have no idea why this is happening. When you eat, especially carbs, your blood sugar goes up. That's normal. And your body needs carbs. But when your cells are insulin resistant, it's like the insulin is knocking on the door and the cells have noise canceling headphones on. They're not listening. It's like the insulin is saying, hello, I have glucose. Can you please open up to get this delivery? And your cells are saying, huh? I can't hear you. Speak louder. So the insulin knocks louder. And the cells still pretend not to be home for that delivery. So the glucose stays in the bloodstream while your cells are starving on the inside. Your brain senses this mismatch. It panics. It slows you down because it thinks that you're running low on fuel. And that afternoon collapse, that is your body saying your blood sugar is on a roller coaster and I need peace, not theme parks. And just like with Renee's thirst, the signals keep stacking up. They get creative. They show up in different parts of your life until you cannot deny that it exists anymore. Now let's talk about your vision. But first, meet Calvin, 47 years old, who started at his computer like the screen owed him money. Some mornings his vision was fine. Some afternoons the words on his screen blurred just enough to be annoying. His glasses were fine. His eye pressure was fine. His optometrist said everything looked normal. But Calvin noticed a pattern. On days he ate pastries at breakfast, the afternoon blur was worse. On days he had eggs instead, he barely noticed it. That was random. When blood sugar rises, fluid shifts inside the eye, especially the lens. The lens swells just a tiny bit, but it's enough to mess with your focus. Your eyes aren't failing. Your computer and phone screens aren't cursed. No, not at all. Your age isn't suddenly attacking you. Your eyes are delivering a calm, clear message. I need smoother blood sugar waves, not tidal waves. Tiny vessels in the eye are some of the most sensitive in the entire body. They're like soft little musicians. They work beautifully when the environment is calm. Or when sugar sticks to proteins, a process called glycation, those tiny vessels tighten and lose flexibility. So your sight becomes a daily message board for what's happening inside. But the body doesn't stop with the vision. No, not at all. When it wants your attention, it goes to the biggest organ next. Let me introduce Miss Thelma, 66 years old, and a retired teacher. She's sweet as pie. No nonsense lady. She came to me frustrated because her shins were dry and itchy, no matter how much she moisturized them. Small cuts lingered for days. Shaving suddenly irritated her skin, and one little nick on her ankle refused to heal. Her first thought, my skin is just getting old. That's what she thought. No, Miss Thelma. No. Your skin is screaming for better blood sugar. When sugar runs high, the immune system gets distracted. It's not as quick to respond. Blood doesn't circulate as freely as it should. And glycation, remember that word? Makes tissues stiffer and more vulnerable. Here's what that means. Itching is in the same spots. Dryness refuses to soften. Tiny infections show up where sweat and friction live or exist. Healing takes so much longer, even for tiny scratches. The skin becomes the billboard of your internal health. Once the skin is doing that, you bet inside is going crazy. When healing slows on the outside, the same slowdown is happening inside tiny vessels around nerves, kidneys, reproductive organs, the whole terrain. But guess what? This isn't about fear. This is about clarity and understanding what's going on. Because slow healing simply means that your body is saying, support me, please, and I'll bounce back. And speaking of support, let's talk about your mouth. Yes, Believe it or not, high blood pressure has a unique way of showing up in your mouth. Brianna was 49 years old and a hospitality manager. She brushed her teeth twice per day, flossed almost every night, and took pride in having good teeth. Then suddenly, her gums bled when she flossed. Her mouth felt dry even after drinking any form of liquid, even water. And her breath sometimes had a faint, foody smell she didn't recognize. It hadn't happened to her before. So she panicked, thinking that it was a dental disease or because she was aging. But the problem wasn't her toothbrush. It was her blood sugar. Here's the thing. The mouth is one of the fastest places to show metabolic stress. Bacteria love sugar. And when your blood sugar runs high, your saliva, your gums, and your whole oral ecosystem shifts. It becomes friendlier to bacteria, and it's harder for your immune system to hold the line for you. Bleeding gums aren't just a mouth issue. They are a gentle flag, red flag, waving and saying circulation is struggling here. Please give me some support. And that fruity breath, that's your body saying there's too much sugar circulating in here. And I'm trying alternative pathways. Your mouth is not your enemy. It becomes a reporter. And the next report comes from your nerves. But first, I hope you're finding value from this video. And I try to make it fun so you can understand. And if you're finding value, you're going to really appreciate my diabetic comeback system, where I go deeper into what your body is telling you and the different solutions that will get you back on track. You can grab the bundle from the description, the first link below. Now, let's continue. I want you to meet Gordon, 63 years old, a former chef. His feet started feeling strange, not painful, just distant, like he was wearing thin socks even when he was barefoot. He kept saying, I can feel my feet, but I can't feel my feet. So one day he stepped on a small wire in the garage and didn't know until he saw the blood. That scared him enough to finally ask for help. Nerves are incredibly sensitive. They need steady oxygen, steady blood flow, and low inflammation. High blood sugar stiffens the vessels, the blood vessels that is, and makes circulation sluggish. Before nerve pain hits, the early signs come in the form of tiny whispers. A little numbness, a little tingling, a little something ain't right. Yeah? I know you know what I'm talking about. Those are early signs, and early warnings are gifts. They mean it's not too late to reverse, repair, and restore. So pay attention to those warnings and those signs. But wait, the body's not done talking to you yet. Next, it goes to your mood. Your brain loves calm, steady glucose flow, consistency. High blood pressure gives your brain the exact opposite. Meet Sharon. She's a 52-year-old grandmother of 4. A sweetheart, if you ask me. But her mood, volatile. Her patience disappeared after certain snacks. A muffin in the morning meant irritation by 10 a.m. A big bowl of pasta meant emotional emptiness by 2 p.m. She said, Sharon, I don't even feel like myself anymore. Blood sugar spikes push your brain onto a roller coaster without your permission. When sugar races up, insulin chases hard to catch up or to follow. When sugar drops too fast, the brain feels it like a punch in the face. You get irritable, panic sets in, sudden hunger, shaky hands, and emotional overwhelm. You're not moody. Your brain is begging for steady fuel. Your body is not attacking you. It is sending urgent notifications that you need to pay attention to. It wants stability, and it's not even finished yet. There are more signs. Let me tell you about Leon, 68 years old, a church musician. He noticed bruises on his legs that seemed bigger than they should be. He got winded quickly while he was climbing stairs that he used to handle so easily before. His doctor said his heart was fine, But high blood sugar stiffens the tiny muscles inside your circulation system. And that stiffness affects your blood pressure, your blood flow, oxygen delivery, nerve comfort, and fast healing. And just like eye vessels, the small vessels in intimate areas get extremely sensitive. Yes, intimacy changes when circulation struggles. Blood sugar affects everything, your whole entire body from your head to your feet. High sugar doesn't shout, punish yourself. It whispers, please organize me. Which leads us to the solution side of the story, the part that you desperately need, and I know that's why you're here. But before we talk about solutions, here is the truth. Your body is loyal. It responds fast. It forgives easily. It changes with consistency, not perfection. And nothing proves that better than real stories that I just told you. Well, let me introduce 3 brand new characters, each facing different blood sugar signals and each finding relief with simple rhythms. And this is where you're going to find some of the solutions. Story 1 is about Dolores, 57 years old. She's a grandmother, avid gardener, and lover of sweet iced coffee. She woke every night around midnight and 3 a.m. to urinate. Her mouth felt dry. She blamed it on menopause. She swapped late-night snacks for an early protein-forward dinner and moved her iced coffee to mornings only. Within 1 week of making those changes, her nighttime bathroom trips dropped. She slept deeper, her morning mood lifted, and her body wasn't failing anymore. It was following instructions that she gave it. Story number 2 is about Marco, 63 years old. He was a retired mechanic with numbness in his toes. He thought that it was just age, but then he added 12-minute walks after lunch and dinner, half raises at the kitchen sink, and he started eating a hearty vegetable soup for lunch instead of sandwiches on white bread. In 2 weeks, the tingling softened, his balance improved, and his feet felt warmer. Movement woke up his circulation. Circulation fed his nerves, and his nerves eventually relaxed. Story number 3 is about Patrice, 44 years old. She was a hairstylist who struggled with mood swings and hunger crashes. She didn't understand why her stomach felt so empty, even an hour after she ate. She adjusted her breakfast every morning. This is a solution. And she consumed more protein and fewer sugary coffee drinks. She added fiber at every meal and healthy fats, and she drank water steadily throughout the day. After that, her afternoon crashes vanished. Her mood stabilized, and she stopped feeling possessed by cravings. She finally realized that her brain wasn't broken. It just needed a steady beat. Now here's the bottom line. Your body is not punishing you. Instead, it is inviting you to a certain rhythm. Blood sugar rising means please steady me. I want to be calm. Blood sugar crashing means balance me. Fatigue means fuel me differently. Dry mouth means support my kidneys. Tingling toes means show my nerves some love. Mood swings mean feed the brain the way it likes. You don't need a perfect plan. No, you don't. You need a repeatable one. A protein-anchored breakfast. A 10-minute walk after eating. Fiber throughout the day. Breathing that tells your nervous system we're safe. Sleep that respects the next day. Hydration that supports healing. Meals that look like the life you want. Steady, colorful, and kind. You're not fighting your body, and you don't even want to do that. You're learning your body's language, and once you learn that language, everything is going to change. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. If you want to kickstart your diabetes journey, please grab my free ebook titled What to Do the First 30 Days After You've Been Diagnosed with Diabetes, no matter if it's type 1 or type 2. And remember to also grab the Diabetic Combat System bundle. They will both give you everything that you need to make this journey so much easier. And please make sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss out on my next video where I'm going to share 10 natural metformin substitutes that you can use to keep your blood sugar lower. You don't want to miss that video. Thanks for watching and see you soon.